Ladies and gentlemen, seamstresses and tailors, welcome to a haphazard mishmash of a spontaneous attempt at a historically inspired fantasy-based Regency gown, made from secondhand fabric, featuring pockets, of course, complete with side quests, late-night musings, and general coziness that blankets the beginnings of winter. Whether you are a rabid crafter, an interested spectator, or simply here because the YouTubes played this video next, thank you for being here. And now, let us begin. The wish for this dress began with the discovery of a local English country dance ball to be held in the honor of Jane Austen's 250th birthday. I treasure the books and the films, well, most of them. That monstrosity made in 2020 does not deserve to be named Emma. And while the fashion of the time is elegant beyond words, it is not my favorite of historical dress. So I set out to design and sew a garment that was inspired by the Regency era, though not something anyone would have found in Elizabeth Bennet's wardrobe. A gathered circle skirt, say what? I have less than a month to do it. I'll have plenty of time between wifing, mothering, and homemaking, right? Right. Desiring to somewhat imitate the classic Empire waist, but incorporate a fuller skirt, I turned to Catherine Strand Holke-Boer's pattern for theatrical costumes. As an amateur pattern drafter, I cannot recommend this book enough. It is an excellent reference for working out what shapes you need to create the looks you want. Now to make a mock-up of the bodice. I debated making an entirely separate underdress, but decided not to this time. I also ended up changing the sleeves to be just a simple puff and not adding the accent fabric gores, all due to the lateness of the hour. I'll have you know that this is not a proper tutorial at all. I was making it up as I went and was not very vigilant about recording the process, especially towards the end as the evening of the ball loomed nearer. The mock-up turned out pretty well, just needed a bit of adjusting to minimize the neckline gapping. Oh, would you look at that, a delicious pie. Unsure of how best to create the puff sleeve that I wanted, I set out to make a mock-up of those as well. Let it be known, I have a dragon-approved size of a fabric cord, and yet it is a special kind of painful to think of making something just to throw it away. I know it means saving fabric in the long run, of course, but shush, I'm going to make a sleeve, so why not make it well? I could use a pretty pillowcase, oh dear, too small, and a knit tank top for the bodice. Not that one either. Or why not make a whole dress? Leftover rectangles, maybe I can make one of these eventually. Well, I had to choose the most pilly part of the fabric, the most pilly part of the sheet for the sleeves, unfortunately. And I think I am going to alter them. I now have, 4 days to do the dress, and I only have it mostly cut out. So we'll see. I am thankful that I have even a little bit of time to work on such projects, because there's a time that I did not. Even though now I have to choose between art and sleep, I'm still thankful that I even have that choice. So, we shall see. I have been thinking about the passing of the years, the fleeting of time. If the Lord wills me to live that long, what kind of elderly person do I want to be? I hope I am like my grandmother. She had the purest white hair you ever did see. She used to dye it, but I begged her not to. It was so beautiful. Mainly, I hope I am like her in heart, selfless, joyfully laughing in the face of her years of hardship, always ready to speak the name of Jesus, and more importantly, to show his love. The thing is, why would I wait for years to pass to be better? I hope to become an old woman with wisdom in her heart and a song upon her lips, so today I will learn and hear and grow. I want to have a marriage untarnished by the weight of years, so I will polish and pray today. To have grown children who still want to be around once in a while, so I will treasure them now and apologize to them when I err. I want to remember to not be that lady who tells a first-time mom, who already has a million anxieties running rampant in her head, "Your baby's feet look cold." So today I will remember with grace that lady means well, and not bother explaining that socks just will not stay put on these little kickers. These are all pretty words, but they are stagnant if they do not lead to action. Romans 12, verses 1 and 2 say, "I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect." But how does one renew the mind? By systematically tearing down thinking patterns of lies and replacing them with truth. Can one know truth? I think so, at least in part. Corinthians 13, verses 11 and 12 say, "When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known." Keep searching for truth, and when you think you've found it, keep asking. If truth cannot be questioned, then it's not truth. Who will take me to the ball?
I'll take you, Barbara Manatee.
Oh, I need to have something in my pocket. Cap.
What have I got in my pockets?
Frolic. Spin.
Run around
Sure
in front of
thing.
the camera.
Royal recording.
Would certainly be a fearsome thing to behold.